Battlefield Siege Run. Here we have another Pauper video for you today. We are playing a really cooked deck. This deck requires lots of mastery, so come along for this journey and I'll tell you what it's like. This is the Abzan Soul Sisters list. So Caleb Gannon, I believe it is, ran a similar list like this a couple years ago. He was kind of the creator of this deck. So Abzan Soul Sisters has done the cycles around. Essentially, someone at my locals played this deck. I wasn't there that night, but my friend linked it to me and I thought it was absolutely cooked because it was a little bit of a difference between Caleb's list. It's running the Marauding Blight Priest. So this is, I know some of the lists are running this nowadays, but a lot of the time, Caleb's list was running some other cards that did similar effects. I think it was in the 5 mana slot, and it wasn't running stuff like Whitemane Line, but it was running that Stony Brook Scholar, which is that Merfolk where when it's tapped you make a 1/1. So he had this really cool go wide shell, and he ran like Avacyn's Pilgrim and stuff like that. And it was really sweet. It has lots of views on YouTube. I really implore you to check it out. He does a league through it with the deck. But this version is kind of true to itself in that regard, but it's actually running more of these style effects because we've printed a lot more, Magic has recently. So it's these creatures that are kind of like virtual rangers, but they get the one effect. So Jaspera Sentinel is one of them. You tap an untapped creature you control, you tap that creature, get 1 mana of any color. So it runs 4, 8, 12 of those, and it runs 4, 8, 12 Soul Sisters as well. So it's running 24 of this kind of engine, and then it's also running Querying Ranger, which does the untapped effects as well. So you can have these really cool explosive turns where you're playing all these tap to make mana effects, kind of like elves, but then playing these Soul Sister effects like for a burn, and then you're surviving this mid game, and then you get into this weird mid game where you're playing these Blood Researcher, which is essentially just a Johnny Pride Mare with Menace, and also Marauding Blight Priest, which is the cheaper version. It's a 3/2. Whenever you gain life, each opponent loses 1 life. So that's kind of the ways to win. I just freaking love decks with Whitemane Line. It is just like, I was dreaming, when I saw the list, I was just like, holy crap, Whitemane Line. It's obviously a slightly worse version than Core Skyfisher, but it has flash. So this deck can kind of not put all its eggs in one basket. You can kind of have your setup, and then drawing Whitemane Line is kind of like a bit of an engine. So you can just keep playing it and returning itself to gain so much life, and then, you know, just machine gun them with the Blight Priest or machine gun them and have a gigantic Blood Researcher. So you can even attack with this. This has flash. Before damage, you can just go, you know, play it a bunch of times, and then suddenly they just like cook themselves. You know, you've untapped a bunch of mana with the Querying Ranger and you just won the game. So I'm very keen to play with this Whitemane Line. The beauty about this deck as well, similar to Elves, is you got all these cards, like you got Land Grant, so it's running only 9 lands. So Land Grant helps you get these mana sources, and you only really need 1 forest because you've got all these other mana dorks, and you'll see in the matches how that goes. But also you've got Winding Ways and Lead the Stampede, so you're running 4 of each, which is pretty crazy. But when you think about it, if you've only got 9 of these lands and you've got Land Grant, you're only running 13 land sources, and then everything else is a hit besides the Lead the Stampede and the Winding Way. So with that, it's 19. So 2/3 of your deck is hittable with the Lead the Stampede and Winding Way. So it's very common to get like 3 out of 4 cards from the Winding Way. It feels so good when you play Lead the Stampede and you get 5 creatures off of it, and it feels like unbeatable. Like even if you just get mini Wrath, you're like, well, I got 5 more creatures now. Like, how are you going to beat that? And some of these cards get around some of the Wraths anyway. Now, the interesting part, Caleb had a very cool sideboard. It was very intricate and it's pretty more straightforward for like an Abzan list. But this person took to my locals this absolutely cooking sideboard, which really just made me gaze over to it. I was like, holy crap, there's one-offs, there's creatures in different colors because we have this weird suite. It's running 1 Reef Shaman, which you can assume it's probably for Tron. I'm still trying to decipher this sideboard, by the way. I'm trying to work out actually what the hell is going on here. But it's running 1 Catholic Commando. Basically, I think after thinking about it for a while, it's just more of like a massive creature toolbox list that you can get with the Lead the Stampede and Winding Ways. So you can continue your engine of playing lots of creature stuff, but you don't want to dilute with lots of instants and sorcery. So it's all creatures, which is cool. And this is technically a creature, the Guardian Naga. So Standard Bearer is a classic. We've played that White Winnie. Field Surgeon is a really interesting card. It works really well with the Querying Ranger and lots of just the X ones because you can survive from end of facilities and stuff like that, which is phenomenal. And you'll see some really cool shenanigans with that, how we survive bolts and stuff like that using Querying Rangers and just like tapping out the Field Surgeon, which is cooked. 2 Crimson Acolytes, which makes sense. It's surprising because you're like, oh, we would just cook burn because we have all these Soul Sisters. That's not the case. They run Breath Weapon and stuff like that, so you need ways to mitigate against that. I know you can lead the Stampede and build back up, but sometimes you need to keep everything alive. So yeah, we got one of those. Reef Shaman is obviously everything for Tron. Goblin Medics is absolutely a cooked card, which I forgot exists as well. So you can, when it comes tapped, deal 1 damage to any target. So you can tap it with your Sentinels, but if you have multiple Querying Rangers out, you're untapping that bad boy, and you're going to machine gun some X2s down, aren't you? And this card, I think everyone loves this card because it's like the only common in Magic's history that we can play that you can discard it and it counts as a spell, or an ability. It's only 3 mana for it, so it's not too horrendous. Like, obviously, counterspell is a better counterspell, but it says or ability. So this feels really good against Terra because they can't counter this. We can get it with our Winding Way or Lead the Stampede, and it also handles abilities that we're really scared of. So things like, I don't know, Spy Combo, when you got Lotleth Giant and it triggers, and you're like, well, how do we beat this? And we can just counter it. So that's a very good card, and I'm interested if we can play it. And it's also just a random 5/7. I have some general thoughts, which I've talked in the wrap-up anyway. I think we've actually cooked with this deck as well, so check out the matches. They were really, really fun. But I definitely have some thoughts about this deck and how we can kind of push forward with it. But let me know what you think about this deck. If you do enjoy these videos, please feel free to like and subscribe. I do have a code word on Mana Traders, so you can use Citron and feel a bit of money off through their loan program after a couple of months. Anyway, let's just jump into it. I'm really keen to play this deck. It's so freaking cool. It's like 5 color anyway. All right, I'll see you in the first one. On the draw, but I'm feeling good about this hand. We got a land, we got Winding Way, we got our Mana Dorks. It's looking good. I mean, they could definitely knock us out of this game quite easily, and that's pretty good as well. So we can go Loam Dryad. Now we can block and kill that if we need to, and then we can follow it up with just like another, like a Caretaker, and then we can play a white creature in the Jaspara Sentinel. Oh, they got the blind flip. This might be a bit how you doing. Might be a bit very how you doing. At least we'll try and get the Sanctifier down as quick as possible. It might be worth to try and... If they tap out, actually, I think we'll probably Winding Way, because everything's pretty redundant in our deck. I think we'll probably do that. We'll probably just try and Winding Way, go land, play creature, Winding Way. It's unlikely they're going to play Spell Pierce in their deck. And we just can't have a... Like, we're going to play a lot of Soul Sisters and whatnot. We just need a way to get around... Okay, they are tapping out. Oh, that's a good one. It's a very good one. All right. Well, here I think we will just still play... I think we just play out all our Mana Dorks here. And then we just have more of an explosive turn next turn. Yeah, probably just tapping 2 and then playing a Sanctifier. And then follow it up with the Soul Warden. Wonder what they're going to be doing here. They can't play Terra, nothing. Okay, so they're going to be countering stuff. So let us, I mean, it's a bit annoying how we have to tap like that. We're going to have to anyway. Let's play a Soul Warden. Let's just play another Soul Warden. I'm not going to play this Winding Way. I probably want to play this Marauding Blight Priest first. If we can resolve this Winding Way, I think we're in a good place. That's fine. They can play this stuff. We can essentially, now we're just curbing this Insectile Aberration. Like, I'm just going to play... Yeah. It's going to be very hard for this Insectile Aberration to win. If this is how they want to win here. We're going to just drop this Hinterland Sanctify and then Marauding Blight Priest. And then we'll just see if any of those resolve. Okay, another Hinterland Sanctifier. Well, let's just go white, play this. Let's just play all the rabbits. And we just yield to this. So we have to deal with this. It's always yield to this damn rabbit trigger. Alright. Alright, let's try and play this. And let's hope they just tap out for a Terror or something like that. We know they have Counterspell. And we knew that was going to do a good job. Let's just hope this Winding Way resolves now. I mean, hell, if they're attacking and we're drawing creatures, we're probably still... Do not get a blind flip off this. That is cracked if you do. Okay, they don't. They don't. That's good. That's good for us. I mean, yeah, they keep attacking with the Delver. So now we essentially... I think we just attack with all the clowns. If they're not playing a Terror here, I think we're attacking with the clowns. Because our clock's technically better. Alright, I'll Delver Secrets. I mean, that can be a problem. Oh, they always have a Counterspell. Forest is interesting. I think we just fire off a Winding Way, see what they do, otherwise we just A-space. They have to have Counterspell here. They're really slow rolling. They don't. Okay. The bait worked, ladies and gentlemen, and we hit a crap ton of stuff, which is fantastic for us. Let us play Querying Ranger. I mean, we kind of still drew crap. But now we can draw... Yeah, okay, there we go. I bet they wish they had held on to that counterspell. So the blue stuff doesn't really matter. Okay, they just don't want to play anymore. We're on the draw. This hand is sadly... It's close. You could get a green white, but you really need a mana dork in there. This hand's good. What we'll do is we'll keep and we'll just get rid of one land grant. Done. And then we can go forest just for sentinel, then tap land, play the Cerulean, and then we can land grant, grab another forest, and then we can lead the stampede and be on a merry, merry way. Sorry, that's just the Australian wildlife outside. It is too hot. Currently, it's hot and humid in Australia, and I need a window open. So, I'm sorry, we're going to have to deal with some burbs. Okay, we're playing against looks like a Glintblade list, which didn't feel great for me. We're going to play the Caretaker first because I'm mindful of Grimbauble, and Grimbauble will kill our Jespera Sentinel. It will unalive it. So we want to just hold on to that for now. And then next turn we'll play Radiant Grove Sentinel, because then if we draw a 1-drop, we can play that. It feels very much like Glintblade, but they're not doing anything else. Okay, we had a forest, so this land grant kind of gets worse. I want to still do what we were exactly doing before, so just playing the Sentinel. Say go ahead. Very unlikely that we're drawing more lands because we're only running 11 lands, I believe. So this has just the takeaway of unable to attack for 1 because we played Caretaker first into Sentinel. But if they decide to get rid of our board, at least we can still lead the Stampede next turn. And what we're going to be doing first is going Forest Land Grant, so we get another land out of our deck before we lead the Stampede. Because ideally, we want to hit five things. And the least amount of lands, and in the deck, it's going to make that more possible. Alright, they have a very crap hand if this is what they have to do. It just kind of sucks for them. I've definitely been there before where like the hand kind of has a nice little bit of a late game going on, but they can't really do much else. So we'll play this. Let's land grant. We'll reveal the hand. They're going to know everything that we have in a minute. Get a forest. And then let us stampede the crap out of them. I'm just thinking I could play this tap. No. It probably, if I play this, I go 1-2. Then I mean, it's the same thing, but we have one untapped thing. I think we want to play the Stampede first because if we hit a Soul Sister, I'd rather play that first. Well, let's put all these creatures in our hand because that's absolutely cracked. And we also got this Querying Ranger. So let's reload up that hand. That's just cracked. And let's go green, because I don't mind if we're getting rid of a forest here. Let's go Querying Ranger. And then we can untap now. I am going to untap this because it gets around certain things. We'll return a forest. And then we will play... Do we play another one? We'll go green. I think we do. I think we do this. And then let's just untap that. Turn a forest. Because we... Okay, they've seen enough. Okay. Now, they're going to bring in our scary spells again. Let's just bring Catholic Commando and this. And then I think that's about it. These don't really do that much. Standard Bearer could be interesting, but I think that's fine. Let's just run it like this. This could be a cool card with this channel effect. But I don't think we're there. I don't think we're there just yet. This is obviously wildly unkeepable. You really do want like kind of Mana Dork and then like lead the Stampede or something like that. So we'll mull. This is good. We're probably just going to tuck probably the Blight Priest, to be honest. We'll keep... Yeah, I want to keep all the Winding Ways. We only need really one Blight Priest. We don't have a Soul Sister yet, so I think the fact, as long as they don't go like Land Duress, which they didn't, which is fantastic for us, we can go Land Grant, Forest, play Loam Dryad, which is the name of the game. I mean, they can still, like, don't get me wrong, cast down this Lone Dryad, but we can still go Querying Ranger and then return the forest and play it again. Okay, let's get a little forest arena here. Play the Dryad. There we go. And then, yeah, they're on the play, so they have access to cast down, which is great for them. I mean, being on the play is obviously always cracked, but at least we have our backup of playing the Querying Ranger. Cathar Commander, I think, could just be interesting if we have enough mana and we can just hit them with, you know, some random other thing. All right, no Grimbauble, so they just had a bit of a staggery hand. What we are going to do is play Querying Ranger, because we can tap for mana, and then we can return the forest, play the forest. So it's definitely meant to run on low lands here. So we'll go this, and then we'll do untap this, return the forest, play the forest, play the Caretaker. Then we'll tap for just white, I guess, and then we'll play this Winding Way. We will name creature, hopefully get 4. 3 is still good. And then there we have it. So now we can play a Querying Ranger next turn. This, honestly, this hand is just fantastic because we can just play all these 1-drops. And then, you know, even if they Arms of Hadar, we still have Lead the Stampedes and stuff like that to continue the trend. So we know what they drew. It was a Grimbauble. Makes total sense to get rid of that card, but we do have another Querying Ranger in our hand. So we're going to play a Querying Ranger and then do some mana shenanigans. Now, this is interesting. I'm actually going to get rid of... probably... I want to keep one around. Let's just get rid of the Sanctifier. Because we only have one Cathar Commando in the deck. So I kind of want to keep it around just in case. And it's got Flash as well, which is interesting. Okie doke. They didn't draw another land, so I'm going to vomit onto the battlefield now. So let's play this Querying Ranger. And let's go tap this, tap this. Let's play a Salt Warden. And then kind of now I do want to cast another Winding Way. So let's go. This Cathar Commander is going to strip mana land when they play another artifact land. I'm just thinking, so I'm going to get 1 here and 2. So let's just play another Soul Sister. Because now, Querying Ranger, let's untap this, return this, play the forest, and do exactly what we did before. So play this, tap this, forest, Winding Way, and then creature, and then we'll go get more stuff. So we really want to play this Blood Researcher next turn because it's absolutely cracked. And we can win the game from there. Hopefully they're not running Shrivel because that absolutely just wrecks us. Okay, double white. Double white means they're probably playing Core Skyfish and picking up the Grimbauble, which I'm fine with. Off Raven Charm. Okay, that's fine. We can still play this Blood Researcher and it could be fairly big. It makes sense. They're just going to crack him with that. Yeah, I'm just going to play this Blood Researcher on our turn. Not having this Querying Ranger makes everything a little bit slower, but we just need to get something big on the board, something that can survive. And now that they've used probably all their cast downs, play this. It becomes instantly a 4/4, and the next turn we can make it a lot bigger. We could actually make it huge. It's always yield to these. Nice, have a little 4/4, so it's out of Grimbauble range, and then also it's out of range of Arms of Hadar. They can't Raven Charm it here. Life's good. Life's good. We're definitely still, if they play any artifact land that we can destroy, we're definitely going to Cathar Commando the crap out of it. If we draw the snake, we're doing that. Hell, we could even try and preemptively try and do that. Whoa, they're playing blue. So they must be playing Esper Ninja variant. Well, so they had a really interesting game 1. Mirror Enforcer. Well, that's not as good because our dude is going to be a lot bigger than theirs. So we're going to essentially, we'll play Cathar Commando and just get rid of their island. 2 Mirror Enforcers, okay. We're going to play a little bit of cat and mouse here. I mean, our card's getting a lot bigger and our lifeling's going to make things a lot harder for them as well. Just thinking here, if we play that, I do more mana out. It survives Arms of Hadar, and then we only have 2 mana though. So if we attack with the Blood Researcher, I think it's fine to attack with the Blood Researcher. If they block with both, we'll flash in the Cathar Commando. and then it will become a 10/10. If they block with everything, then we can just like sack and get rid of one card, and then they lose their whole board state. They should not double block. They are doing that. So we will flash in this. They can keep their blue. I'm quite happy keeping our 10/10 around, and then we'll just get rid of like the refurbished familiar. Yeah. It was a fair cop to block like that, but we obviously had flash. All right, let's play another one. All right, we won the die roll, which is very nice. This hand is good. It has everything that we need. So we're going to play... Obviously, we're going to tap stuff first. We're going to play the Caretaker first, because it just avoids some removal spells, like I said before, with the Grim Balls and whatnot. So we'll start with that. So definitely not attacking turn 1. And then, we'll play just an Essence Warden. Oh, yeah, probably the Essence Warden. Then we'll play a Loam Dryad. All right, we're playing against Burn. I feel like I had some scratchy, so I feel like I can play against this a little bit better. Green Range is obviously a better draw here, so now we can play way more stuff. So we'll go tap for green. Oh, sorry, I should play the Soul Sister first. That's okay. So untap this, return the forest. Let's go green. Let's play the... Oh, sorry, no. I'm playing terribly here. I should have done the white, sorry. Let us pass. And hopefully it just doesn't just sting us here. So really we should have another Soul Sister out. And then we can lead the Stampede next turn. I'm playing fast when I probably shouldn't. This matchup, I gotta say, is probably a little bit interesting. Because it feels easy, but if they get a Gutter Snipe out, it gets a lot harder. Because the Gutter Snipe is essentially just dealing with 2 sister effects, essentially. So here what we're gonna do is we're gonna play some creatures. So we'll play the Sanctifier, and then we can float 1, 2. Yeah, so we can go this, turn this, and then we got 1, 2, 3. If we go, let's just go. So if we tap like this and then play this, then we get it for free. That's what I'm trying to work out here. That's all good. Tap this. We tap green. What a time to be alive. See, I can stack my stuff properly. And this is this wasn't that good. 1, 2. Another Green Range is nice actually, because we're essentially able to go freaking nuts. So I'm just zooming this in so I can make sure I got everything. Yep, got everything done. Thank you. They go to my hand. Any order's fine. And then we'll pass the turn. So we got another sister we'll play. They don't run like the end of festivities, obviously, in game 1, but they get a lot more interest in game 2 because of that. But yeah, them playing like something like a Gutter Snipe here gets very gross. But this feels like it can be an auto win, but honestly, it actually doesn't. We need to hit our do something cards. So I'm more inclined to actually tap next turn and go do a lead the Stampede to try and hit some of our do something cards to try and close out the game. Because like I said, it's they can gain a lot of life. They can make us lose a lot of life, and then we'll kind of just toast from there. So yeah, let's just go 1 tap, just like a Hinterland Sanctuary Fire. That's fine, and then tap like this. Play another lead the Stampede. We still play a lot of stuff. I mean, looks like we're just going I'm going to play every single Soul Sister known to mankind, which is, you know what, fine. And now we've gone through 10 cards. Let us untap like this. We're not attacking with it. We're doing all the mana we can. I'm keen to get more mana out, actually, to be honest. Let's tap this white. Let us play a Soul Warden. And then we'll play another Korean Ranger. So we can untap and return the forest and do some more stuff. Just yield through all this. We run a lot of Soul Sisters, but sometimes you these decks just draw badly and then you don't win against these burn variants. Go this, just untap this, pick up the forest, go green, and yeah, we do want to play I'll play a Loam Dryad so we can essentially block this Epicure if we want to. We're getting a lot of life. Yeah, okay. So now they just bring in End of Festivities, and then we have a bad time. That's essentially what happens. So I'm kind of tempted to bring in these because of that. The Nagas don't matter. The Fairy Macabres do matter. I think in that case we can take out the Marauding Blight Priest because we have a way to get rid of the Gutter Snipes. We bring in the Crimson Acolytes and the Standard Bearers as well. We cut some of these whitemane lines because we don't need those repeat effects, and we got other 2-drops that do stuff. I do want to cut maybe like one soul. It feels so bad getting rid of Soul Warden, but you can't really get rid of like our Clock and then our other established cards here. Everything else kind of matters too much. Yeah, I think we do cut down to only running 10 Soul Sisters there. This hand's good. It's got our Mana Dorks. We have our lead and a Winding Way, so hopefully we can just get around some shenanigans. I'm probably likely going to go Caretaker into Caretaker. It's a bit of a slower hand, don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, now we got that. I mean, we'll play this. I kind of want to hold on to the land grant because, like, I only really want to play it if I'm doing, like, yeah, I just want to hold on to it. I think what we're doing is getting Radiant Grove with it because I think it does matter for these kinds of builds. And then, because if you're Winding Way and just hit 4 things, you're like, yeah, cool. Alright, Goblin Medics is good. Let's just go another Caretaker and then we'll play a Soul Warden, I think. And they can see that we have all this other crap in our hand, to be honest. Play this, and then we just go get the Radiant Grove. Play the Radiant Grove and say go. And then likely next turn we'll just cast this Winding Way. I don't have the idea of running some kinds of just like maybe 2 Ents or something like that, just so a way to get more cycling land if you really wanted to. Or sometimes you just play like a 6-7. 5-7, sorry. Are they 5-7s? I think they are. Okay, so they got a bit of a slower hand as well, which is good. Sometimes you absolutely get cooked by burn. Makes me think they do have like a just something a bit crazy going on over there. So what we're going to do is, I'm not too worried about. I'm going to do Winding Way first because I feel like we can hit some cook stuff. Let's tap like this. I guess, yeah, because I want to be able to play like an Acolyte and be able to tap and do something with it. Let's do a Winding Way. And I just want to add more to our board anyway. Okay, that wasn't that good. It was kind of crap, that was. I wonder if we just... We can play an Essence Warden. I still want to play too much. I guess what we can do is we can go like... Green. Play this. Maybe just not play... this other Quirion Ranger, I guess. So we can untap to... Yeah, I don't really want to play anything else. Let's just pass. I could have untapped, I guess, and got him for 1 there. I think I was riding on this Lead the Stampede here. But they literally just drowned and sorry me. We're cooked here. Absolutely cooked. I just want like 1 menace. I think like 1 menace creature. And obviously if they just have End of Festivities here, we've cooked ourselves. Honestly, they could probably just End the Festivities here and then we're just like, yep. What else do we want to do here? This looks like it, yeah. Tectonic Hazard. You knew it was coming. Why didn't they do it first though, so we didn't get the life gain from that? I don't know. Yeah, honestly, let us just play Lead the Stampede. And then we can play our other stuff. Right, this isn't good because we haven't drawn any of our powered cards or much of our sideboard cards. And I don't really want to play this Goblin Medics until it's kind of good. Alright, let's do some shenanigans with the Quirion Rangers. We'll play that. We will untap this, get Return of Forest, play the Forest, and then, yeah, let us play this first. And, oh, I've seen it all anyway. Let's just go green. Tap this, play the Sentinel. There we go. Alright. And we're back again. And the Goblin Medics, we can shoot down this Kitchen Imp if we choose to. If we choose. But they kind of need to be untapped for it as well. 2 Kitchen Imps, okay. It feels like you can never get rid of these Querying Rangers. They're just kind of too good. But we also haven't seen any... I'm really worried for a Tectonic Hazard, but like, surely would have learned their lesson the first time and cast that first. Because they discard and draw. Maybe they did draw it. I don't know, it's grim. They can definitely just hit us with it. We just need like one payoff card so we can actually start doing stuff with our lives. They also just want to hit the hazard here. It looks like they haven't. Okay, now what we're going to do is just very likely just want to cast this goblin. Let's just tap this. Let's play the goblin. And let's see if they want to burn that, because I think that's kind of fun if they do. Okay, no, they don't. I think they realise that we can start pinging with it. Well, let's move on to another one. Alright, this hand is very keepable. It's got everything that we need, and we can just lead up with the Jespera Sentinel and see how we go. And we're playing against Rally Red. Okay, I have to remember if they do run anything specific around like the end of festivities. Let's have a look. Another Goblin Tomb Raider. They have a very good start. We can't do much about this. We're just going to take it. They do run 2 end festivities normally in their sideboard, which is a little bit grim. This is a very good start. If they bolt this, we are cooked. Absolutely cooked. They can play an Epicure, that's fine. So now really we're just going to play some Soul Sisters, I think. Alright, another land's actually pretty good, so we can probably tap a little bit differently now. So let's just play our green spells. Play this. And then, yeah, we can basically... I mean, we could have done the Soul Warden first. Yeah, sorry, we should have done the Soul Warden first, but that's okay. Let's just tap this, play Soul Warden. And then next time we have 4 mana, so we can Winding Way. I mean, probably if our stuff survives, we're actually going to play the Blood Researcher, so we actually have a way to block some of these Tomb Raiders and then have a clock ourselves. It just more depends. If they play a Bushwhacker here, it's absolutely cooking. I think what we'll do if they play a Bushwhacker, this Lone Dryad's blocking the Bushwhacker. And it'll take 3, 6, 8. Okay, Percussionist. That's still doable. I mean, we're gaining 2. And if they're playing that, it means that they don't have a burn spell. So we're definitely blocking a Percussionist if they do continue attacking with it. Okay, they have a Chain Lightning here. Okay, well, we can't redirect that. We're just taking everything. We're not blocking. We're playing the Blood Researcher as a blocker. And then on the following turn, we'll try and go a bit crazy with the Winding Way. But we need to have a block for just some of these shenanigans. And playing, because this will be tapped anyway. I guess the other option is we could try and Winding Way. Only got 1 card left. Maybe do try and Winding Way, because if we hit a Querying Ranger, our life gets a lot better. So now we can go, that's for green, let's just tap this, play Querying Ranger, gain a bunch more life. Now let's just try and, we'll deploy this other, let's untap this first, turn this, and we'll tap this, obviously the Querying Ranger, we'll play the Soul Warden. Or do you want to just play 2 Sentinels so we have 2 more blocks? No, we don't need 2 more blocks. We can play the Soul Warden and just play 1 more Sentinel, and then we can return a Forest on their turn to untap another Sentinel. I think that's probably the best go, because now we're gaining 3. We've gained a lot of life, and now they only got 1 card in hand. We can play the Researcher next turn. We essentially just mitigated all that life loss just then. You can see though, if they have end of festivities, we've absolutely cooked ourselves. Yeah, see, this is fine. We just use a Sentinel and block the Percussionist. I mean, there's probably actually an argument to not block that and just take 5. They do have a Bushwhacker, so they can use that next turn. Okay. It's pretty good. It's pretty good. But I think we're going to be gaining too much life next turn. That's the thing. Yeah, they just realized we gained way too much life. Let's see if they want to play the next one. Goblin is obviously cracked against them. Let's bring this... No, Standard Bearer doesn't matter. We're at Standard Bearer. We're going to cut these whitemane lines. They feel a little bit too slow. And then we're going to be running in these Field Surgeons. 2, the Acolytes, 1, 2. We could run this. I don't really like that idea. It's mainly for Tron, I think. And And what are we cutting? We can't cut all the main stuff. Probably we're cutting these Marauding Blight Priests a little bit. We probably keep one in. I feel like we can just win with all our crap, to be honest. And now we got these Goblin Medics, they can do some stuff. And we've got these Pro Spells. I think it's looking okay. And if we lose this game too, then we at least are on the play-on game on the following game. This hand's good. The tap land's a little bit gross because it doesn't work great with the Ranger. But we'll still keep it. If we draw like a land grant, it's absolutely huge. It might be a little bit too slow, but you can't not keep this hand. It's too good. Okay, land grant is huge, so we'll definitely fire it off now. Actually, we just fire it off because I don't want to draw a forest now. We have all the forests that we want now, so we'll pass. And then next turn, yeah, we just play a Caretaker and a Sentinel. I think. Well, actually, let's play like one game life, and we'll play Sentinel. I think. No. We'll play two mana dorks. That way we at least have more mana on the following turn, and then we're definitely going to get something out of Querying Ranger straight off the bat. Like if they bolt one, at least we can still play the Querying Ranger, do all the shenanigans, and get the most amount of mana out. And now we're kind of looking at, we can play like a Essence Warden and potentially the Field Surgeon and the Querying Ranger. And then I think we're in a potential clear then. 2 more Essence Wardens. We've got 2 good blocks. It feels okay. We just have to play around this End of Festivities. That they may not even draw, but we have to play around it. If this is all they have, we're taking it. It doesn't matter. We'll block one. We'll block one. But them having 1 land means they probably just kept a hand with End of Festivities in it. So now we can kind of play around that a little bit. Okay. So let's go. I'm just counting our mana quickly. Hang on. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's play the Essence Warden. And so we go 1. So if we play Querying Ranger, then we have 1, 2. Hang on, let me work this out quickly. So we go, we've got 1 mana, we can go 2, 3. And then we can also 4. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it works out like this, where we can play this, play the Querying Ranger. Yeah, sorry, we definitely can. Let's play the Essence Warden, and then we'll go tap for green. Play the Querying Ranger. Get the life gain, which is fantastic. Always yield to this, and then we'll go white and tap this, and then we'll go untap the Caretaker, return the forest. Play the forest, play the Field Surgeon, and now we can kind of tap 3 and save 3, and we can untap again actually. So now we're insulated against End of Festivities, so it's going to be a lot harder to get around this. And if they choose to bolt it, we can actually keep it alive by targeting this 3 times with it. You know, we can tap 3 creatures. So the Field Surgeon's absolutely cracked. I can't believe this is a common. Okay. So it says tap and untap creature you control. Prevent the next one don't to be dealt to target creature this turn. So you choose target creature. Let's tap this. 1. Tap this. Hang on. Tap this. Tap this. I don't know if this works either. Yeah, I think it does, but like it might not anyway. But there we go. All right, let's do. Yeah, that's crazy. All right, quick wrap up time. This deck was absolutely cooking. It was really fun though, and it acted on a different axis that we're kind of used to. The medley of the sideboard is absolutely cooked, but playing Field Surgeon, especially against all the red decks that we played against today, with just all the stuff you just jam into the battlefield, it's really cool to play this, because I guess the standard Elves deck, you can't actually play Field Surgeon. So that's really cool that we were able to get around End of Festivities and stuff like that. So that I think was pretty cool. The main deck, I think maybe you could run some generous ends. The whitemane Lions felt kind of win more. I never really got to play them too much, and in the places that I could have, I kind of wanted to do something else. The mana things I wanted to do was like play Leader Stampede. So I think you could probably cut the whitemane Lions and run something else. You know, you could have those Stony Brook, or you could Scholar. I think a Stony Brook Scholar, or you could run something like there's like a 5 mana black version that's like Marauding Blight Priest, or you know, it's like. You could probably just run like an Absence Pilgrim or something like that just to smooth things over, or just replace him with a Generous Ant so you have this other weird backup of, okay, none of my stuff is resolving, but I have 6 mana. I could draw a Winding Way, lead the Stampede, or an Ent. And also the Ents could just get more of the forest and whatnot. So I could see a generous Ent being played in this deck. Outside of that, the sideboard, I'm still deciphering it because a lot of these cards I haven't played like really ever. Mirror Shell Crab is the only real spell that is part of the channel effect. So you can't really counter it, which is really cool because it says ability as well, which is actually nuts. So obviously you play this against like Spy Combo and stuff like that for the triggered abilities, but also, you know, you can counter anything against stuff like you know, like terror and whatnot, and then, you know, it's going to get countered. They can't do anything about it. So I can tell they're just pushed for more of like a fully creature sideboard and a bit of a toolbox, which is always fun. So I'll probably want to touch this right now. You know, the Naga's nice, the Catholic Commando's nice. I think it really just depends. This deck, I think, rewards a lot of play and then understanding what hands you want to keep. And I think as I even played these couple of games and matches, I was realizing that I needed a hand that had, you know, at least one of the mana dorks, like a Winding Way element, just one land's fine. And the deck really exploded when you had a Quirion Ranger in play. So I guess that's probably like the main thing I would take from this. The Marauding Blight Priest didn't matter as much. I feel like most people were just kind of like, okay, I've lost the game now once we've Winding Wayed so many times and we've just gone so wide. I just probably don't realize how this deck would probably beat decks like Elves themselves or something like that. Like, it's probably a very hard matchup to do because we're gaining life, but, you know, they can just go a bit wider and they have all their other mana sinks and stuff like this. So this feels like this has more installation, but yeah, it also feels like it could probably just fail a little bit as well. Anyway, tell me what you think about this deck. I know like Caleb Gannon played this in the past, but it was cool just to kind of see an update and a different sideboard, I guess, as well, that involved kind of more of a creature element toolbox effect, which I think was a pretty cool idea anyway. Anyway, thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.